Seeing none, we'll move on.
Plymouth Whitemarsh Colonials will go head-on with the Wissahickon Trojans here at Colonial Field. Along with color commentator Josh Weissman, this is Steve Principali, and I'll be bringing you play-by-play tonight. Wissahickon kicks it off. It's a low kick, taken close to the 25-yard line.
Ball down by Howard Lasky.
Wissahickon enters the contest with a 2-6 overall record, while PW is an impressive 6-2, including 6 consecutive wins. In these victories, PW has outscored opponents 197-17. We look forward to an exciting football game this evening. So it's first down and 10 on the 25 in the first quarter. In motion goes Carl Haley. Borshevitz hands it off this time. That was Sean Cameron Smith.
And tonight the Colonials have to run the ball effectively to have success tonight. The offensive line has to make some big holes for them, and their defense has to come out strong.
Sean C. Smith picked up 128 yards, including a touchdown last week against the Upper Dublin Flying Cardinals. That was the 32-0 victory that PW scored against Upper Dublin last week. Second down and 5 on the 30. PW sends Carl Haley in motion. Borshevitz. This time it's J.J. Clark on the carry.
J.J. Clark on the carry.
And last week, J.J. Clark carried the ball 10 times for 123 yards, and he's in the top 20 in rushing this year. So look for him to run the ball tonight.
And Clark gets the first down for PW. So this will bring up first down and 10 on the 38 for the Plymouth Whitemarsh Colonials. 10:45 remaining in the first quarter. PW has been extremely impressive in the last few games. The handoff is to number 9, Carl Haley. And he's taken down very roughly, but does get some yardage on the play.
The Colonials starting out this game very conservative, running the ball, and they're picking up 5-6 yards each carry. Look for them to do that continuously tonight.
3 running plays there, and a 5-yard gain was made by number 9, Carl Haley. This will bring up second down and 6 on the 42-yard line. They put a wide receiver to the far side. In motion again comes Carl Haley. Borshevitz with a handoff. This time it goes to Sean C. Smith. So Smith has gotten several carries thus far, and as I mentioned, 15 carries last week, 128 yards, including a touchdown. So Sean C. Smith had a very impressive game last week. And I might also mention, in the area of southeastern Pennsylvania, Sean C. Smith is one of the leaders. He's had 6 touchdowns this year. Also, Sean C. Smith, 717 yards on 98 carries, 7.3 yards per carry. First down and 10 on the 46. Borshevitz, the quarterback, hands it off to Sean C. Smith once again.
And this year, Sean C. Smith will definitely go over the 1,000-yard mark. With approximately 4 games left, he should definitely get over that mark.
Sean C. Smith with 717 yards thus far, and he certainly has a shot at going over 1,000 yards, and J.J. Clark also has a possibility. He's got 549 yards thus far in the season. Second down and 3 on the 39-yard line, just over 9 minutes remaining. Mitchell split to the far side, and apparently a timeout has been called.
Colonials called timeout.
PW has called a timeout. And Josh, I'll get back to the question I was going to ask you at the beginning of the broadcast. What must the Colonials do tonight in order to beat the Wissahickon Trojans and extend their winning streak to 7?
And as I said before, they have to run the ball. They've been running the ball all year long very well, and they've been picking up big yardage. They have 2,043 yards rushing this year as a team, which is great for a high school team. And tonight their defense also has to come out aggressive. They have to stop the running back Joey Lowe for the Wissahickon Trojans, and also their quarterback Ron Curtis. They have to contain him tonight.
Plymouth Whitemarsh, of course, their defense was the big question mark at the beginning of the season, and they have really come on very strong. As I mentioned, in the past 6 games, PW has outscored their opponents 197-17. The defense in these 6 games has only allowed 17 points. So certainly a tremendous defensive effort has been put forth by the PW defense. This will bring up 2nd down and 3 after the timeout on the 39-yard line of Wissahickon. Borshevitz hands it off once again. And that was number 33, J.J. Clark, who was thrown for a loss in the backfield.
And the Wissahickon Trojans coming out fired up tonight, playing aggressive defense. Shut J.J. Clark down there and they're playing a little too much aggressive there as Wissahickon.
Certainly the Trojans read that play all the way. This will bring up 3rd down and 5, so a very key 3rd down play here if the Colonials hope to keep their drive going. They put Sean Mitchell, number 82, the outstanding wide receiver, to the near side. On 3rd down, Borshevitz again with a handoff. That's to number 9, Carl Haley.
And as you might have seen,
so Haley gets the 1st down.
As you might have seen, that was a nice fake there by Jason Borshevitz to J.J. Clark. Or actually, he handed the ball off to J.J. It was actually a reverse there. And Wissahickon was caught off guard there. Carl Haley picked up an easy 1st down.
So this is a big confidence builder in the opening drive. As you see, PW has a very impressive drive going, and they're already on the 34-yard line of Wissahickon. And their drive is still alive. 1st down to 10 on the 34. Sean Mitchell split to the near side. 2 backs in the backfield. Borshevitz is back to throw it. His first pass of the evening. Fires incomplete. That was intended for number 82, Sean Mitchell. Now that duo hooked up in the past game. Of course, the 32-0 trouncing of Upper Dublin, in which Jason Borshevitz was 5 of 6 for 124 yards, including 2 touchdowns. And those 2 touchdowns were 2 long bombs to Mitchell. A 57-yard pass from Borshevitz to Mitchell, and then a 31-yard touchdown pass from Borshevitz to Mitchell. So those 2 have really been hooking up on some key pass patterns here thus far in the season. This will bring up 2nd down and 10 on the 34. Haley's in motion. Borshevitz with a handoff to Sean C. Smith. And he finds a hole and gets close to 10 yards on the play.
Sean C. Smith, at first there was no hole open. Sean C. Smith found a big old hole, and he got the 1st down there.
It's going to be close. We'll have to wait for the official measurement.
And as he said, Jason Borshevitz, that one pass. Jason has been known this year to throw the ball long. That's what he mainly has done this year, and he's been pretty successful. Since Todd Hunsiger has been out, he has 4 touchdown passes.
And there you see the offensive line of Plymouth Whitemarsh as they await the call, and they have the 1st down. PW has gotten the 1st down, and certainly they are gaining a lot of confidence on this opening drive here, as we are seeing them drive all the way downfield. They began at the 25-yard line, and now they're on the 24-yard line of Wissahickon. So a very impressive drive put forth thus far by PW.
And the key to the the running back success this year has been the offensive line opening up the big holes.
1st down and 10 on the 24. Haley's in motion. Mitchell to the near side. Borshevitz hands it off. That's J.J. Clark, number 33, on the carry. J.J. Clark gets close to 6 or 7 yards on that running play. And PW is playing very conservative thus far. Only 1 pass has been thrown by Borshevitz. That was incomplete. But the running game is really clicking tonight, as it always has been. In fact, as you mentioned just a few moments ago, the Plymouth Whitemarsh Colonials coming into the game have 2,043 yards just rushing. And they have 638 passing yardage. Thus far in the season, they average 335 yards on offense a game. That is the top offense in the area.
And yes, it is. And the key again is the offensive line opening up the big holes for the Colonials. They're protecting Borshevitz for the last few games, and he hasn't been sacked that many times.
Wissahickon, on the other hand, in terms of defense, they have one of the worst defenses in the area. They have allowed 2,053 yards just rushing, 407 passing yardage, and their average is 307 yards a game just on offense. The Wissahickon Trojans allow. So their defensive unit may need a little bit of work. This will bring up 2nd down and 3 on the 17. PW hoping to get into that end zone and put 6 on the board. Jason Borshevitz hands it off. That was Sean Cameron Smith on the carry, and he gets the 1st down for PW.
And Sean C. Smith off to a great start thus far tonight. And Jason Borshevitz he's controlling the ball very well for the Colonials.
Jason Borshevitz, one of the top quarterbacks in the area thus far on the season since replacing the injured Todd Hunsinger. He has been 20 of 32, 62% efficiency, 381 yards, and 4 touchdown passes. So Borshevitz is doing an outstanding job at quarterback. First down and 10. Jason Borshevitz this time hands it off to Sean C. Smith once again.
And adding to those stats for Jason, he's only thrown 1 interception this year in 5 games, I think it is now.
PW, of course, coming off of a big win over Upper Dublin last week, a 32-0 victory in which everyone contributed to the victory. 2 touchdown catches by the outstanding wide receiver Sean Mitchell, a 3-yard touchdown run by J.J. Clark, Sean C. Smith with a 1-yard touchdown run, and Mark Washington late in the game, a 49-yard touchdown run. On second down and 8, Borshevitz hands it off, and it's a touchdown by Sean C. Smith. 9 yards out, Sean C. Smith has the first touchdown of the game for Plymouth Whitemarsh.
And a great drive for the Colonials there. They held the ball for over 6 minutes in this quarter, and that's what they want to do tonight. They want to control the ball on offense.
A 75-yard drive, opening drive for Plymouth Whitemarsh, and O'Donnell is in to attempt the PAT. No good.
No good. Colonials.
O'Donnell's kick is off to the side, but PW begins the first quarter with a 6-0 lead thanks to the 9-yard touchdown run by Sean C. Smith. We have to take another look at this instant replay. We'll see on second down and 8, Jason Borshevitz will hand it off to his outstanding running back, as you'll take a look right here. There's number 32, Sean C. Smith, spinning, turning, and diving into the end zone for the first points of the game, as Plymouth Whitemarsh now has a 6-0 lead over Wissahickon.
And as you saw, Sean Smith was hit at the goal line there, but great talent by Sean C. Smith making the dive into the end zone.
So PW will kick it off with a lot of confidence with a 6-0 lead on a very impressive 75-yard opening drive in which they chewed away at 6 minutes of the clock.
Deep for the Trojans, Andrews.
And that was Sean C. Smith's 6th rushing touchdown this year. One of the tops in the area.
Number 33, Joey Lowe, is back to receive for Wissahickon. He's, of course, the main running back. He's the tailback for Wissahickon. He ran for 722 yards last year in the victory, or make that in the loss against Hatboro Horsham last week. 28-14 setback. Lowe had 72 yards on 14 carries, including a touchdown. So PW has to contain Joey Lowe tonight, the tailback. And here's the kickoff by O'Donnell. And apparently an offsides penalty has been called. Flags fly.
And watch for the special teams to get down the field quickly in the game. They have done it in the past, giving the opponents bad field position, and it's helped them thus far this season.
So the ball will be moved back 5 yards. And PW will kick it off again. Plymouth Whitemarsh, as I mentioned, has a 6-game winning streak going. They're hoping to extend that to 7. They suffered 2 devastating opening season losses to the Norristown Eagles and the LaSalle Explorers. Both were very exciting games, but PW just came up short. But since then, PW has been on a roll, playing basically league games, and they are 4-0 in the Suburban 1 Liberty Division. They lead that division, and they're hoping to repeat as the champions once again. Here's the kickoff by O'Donnell. It's taken at the 20-yard line. And he finds a hole and gets up close to the 40. So a good return there by Wissahickon. And they start off with fairly decent field position on the 20-yard kick return.
And as Joey Lowe just showed right there, he's not only dangerous rushing the ball, but also on kickoff returns.
Haley and Darius Walker contribute to the tackle for PW. 5.5 minutes to play in the first quarter. It's 6-0 in favor of the Colonials. So here's a good look at Wissahickon on offense. First down and 10 on the 40-yard line. Couple wide receivers to the near side, and the handoff by quarterback Ron Curtis goes to Joey Lowe. The tackle is made by O'Brien along with Haley.
And I'd just like to say
Keith Daly.
congratulations to Sean Messenger. He was picked as the Defensive Player of the Week this week in the game against Upper Dublin. He had a blocked punt and also an interception.
So we certainly congratulate Sean Messenger on the outstanding honor being chosen the Times Herald Defensive Player of the Week. It's quite an honor. Congratulations to the junior. 2nd down and 7. Curtis back to throw. He airs it out deep. It's complete. Down to the 20-yard line. He finds a receiver on a deep fly pattern. That was number 9, and we were told before the game by several of the football players that number 9, Dwayne Watson, the split end for the Wissahickon Trojans, that they really had to watch out for him because he was a very impressive deep threat.
And yes, Coach Iacovetti had said before the game that that was a major concern. They have to stop Dwayne Watson.
Dwayne Watson last week in the loss to Hatboro Horsham, 4 catches for 88 yards. So Watson had a very impressive game last week. 1st down and 10 on the 18. Wissahickon threatening after that long pass. And look at this, number 33 from Wissahickon is in for the touchdown. That's Joey Lowe. So Wissahickon, just on 2 plays, is in the end zone and ties up the game.
So the Wissahickon is playing right with the Colonials tonight. That's what they want to do. They want to keep the score close, and thus far,
Lowe with an
tied up.
18-yard touchdown run.
Schimpf to attempt the extra point.
It's 6-6. And Schimpf will come in to attempt the extra point for the Wissahickon Trojans, who certainly surprised me on that opening drive. 2 plays and they're in the end zone. So Wissahickon from the 40-yard line took it all the way 60 yards, including the big 40-yard passing play from the quarterback Ron Curtis to Dwayne Watson. And that set up the 18-yard touchdown run, which we just saw by Joey Lowe. So all of a sudden, Josh, the Colonials are facing a tough situation here as the game is tied up 6-6 in the first quarter.
And
Wissahickon is certainly a team that they should be beating.
Yes, they didn't expect Wissahickon to come out this strong, and thus far they have. They ran the ball well. Joey Lowe picking up that touchdown there, and they could take the lead with this extra point.
So with just over 4 minutes remaining, Schimpf for the Wissahickon Trojans will come in to attempt the extra point. Again, the game is tied up, and I certainly did not expect this. Of course, when you just look at the records, Wissahickon is 2-6. PW is just the opposite, 6-2. PW has the top offense in the area, while Wissahickon has one of the worst defenses in the area. So we are certainly surprised as it's 6-6, and just on 2 plays, Wissahickon has tied it up, and now the extra point by Schimpf. It's good, ladies and gentlemen. We have a 7-6 game. Wissahickon has jumped off to a 7-6 lead.
In the first period.
And the Colonials have to come out strong. Their offense, looks like the offense is going to have to take control of the game now. They are a very high-scoring team, and very good running backs will be the key this game.
The defense for Plymouth Whitemarsh has been absolutely outstanding, only allowing 17 points just in the last 6 games. And here on the opening drive for the Wissahickon Trojans, we see Joey Lowe, the outstanding running back, break through 18 yards into the end zone for the touchdown. So that certainly surprised me, as the Wissahickon Trojans are on the scoreboard and they have the lead 7-6. Wissahickon will kick it off. Back deep is sophomore sensation Mark Washington, also known as the Rocket. Here's the kickoff. It's a low kick. It's bobbled by PW, but it's taken close to the 45-yard line.
And that was a very smart play by the Colonials, just downing the ball, not trying to run it. On a kick like that, you have to just keep the ball right in front of you and jump on it.
The Colonials at the 35.
This will be at the 35-yard line of Plymouth Whitemarsh. Jason Borshevitz, number 7, the quarterback, will come in. Borshevitz, since replacing Hunsinger, as I mentioned, has 4 touchdown catches, or has 4 touchdown passes, make that, and only 1 interception thus far. 20 for 32 on the season. Borshevitz, the junior, is doing an outstanding job. On first down, Carl Haley goes in motion on the 36-yard line. Jason Borshevitz hands it off to J.J. Clark, number 33. J.J. Clark is closing in on the 600-yard mark in terms of rushing for the season. Last year on the JV squad, J.J. Clark had over 1,000 yards.
And the Colonials might have to go to the pass more often in this game. The Wissahickon defense in the last series and this one right now, they're stopping the run right now.
Just over 3 minutes remaining in the first quarter. It's 2nd down and 7 on the 39-yard line of Plymouth Whitemarsh. Carl Haley's in motion. Mitchell to the far side. Borshevitz hands it off to number 32. That's Sean Cameron Smith. And he picks up close to 5 yards on the carry.
And again, the offensive line making some big holes there for Sean Smith to get through.
First down, Colonials.
PW has another first down on the 39-yard line. Plymouth Whitemarsh with a top offense in the area in just 8 games. A total offense of 2,681 yards. They average 335 total yards on offense every game. So Plymouth Whitemarsh certainly with one of the most respected offensive units in the area. 2nd down. Make that first down and 10 on the 46. Borshevitz hands it off again to one of his outstanding running backs. This time it's number 32. That's Sean C. Smith once again.
And
Edgar of the Wissahickon Trojans on the tackle.
And last week against Upper Dublin, the Colonials picked up an impressive 374 yards rushing on 34 carries. It's very impressive for a high school team.
Just over 2 minutes remaining in the first quarter. 2nd down and 5 on the 49. Plymouth Whitemarsh is driving. Sean Mitchell, the outstanding wide receiver, to the near side. And it's Jason Borshevitz this time handing it off
Carries by Smith.
to number 32, Sean Huck Smith.
Tackled by number 28, Andrews.
Andrews on the tackle for the Trojans, and as you saw, Josh, at the end of that play, there was a little bit of pushing going on. Do you believe that because the score is 7-6 in favor of the Trojans, that the Colonials are a little bit frustrated at this present time?
I don't think they're frustrated, but the Colonials, I think this is going to work to their advantage. They see that Wissahickon's getting all fired up, and usually it's the Colonials getting fired up, and in this game, that it should turn out that way.
Very important 3rd down and short play. Borshevitz hands it off.
Carries by Smith.
That's Sean C. Smith once again.
Tackle is by number 55.
And it's going to be very close to a first down, and I think they did. Yes, they got the first down. Plymouth Whitemarsh keeps the drive alive. And I'll tell you, Josh, on 3rd down conversions thus far, I believe Plymouth Whitemarsh has been perfect. 4 for 4 thus far.
Plymouth Whitemarsh this year is one of the top teams in 3rd down conversions. And thus far in this game, they've been perfect, as you said.
On first down, Borshevitz hands it off
Carried by Clark.
to number 33, J.J. Clark. Andrews on the tackle for the Trojans. J.J. Clark in last week's victory, smashing victory over Upper Dublin, 32-0. J.J. Clark with just 10 carries, had 124 yards, including a touchdown. On the season, J.J. Clark is averaging 6.2 yards per carry, 549 yards on the ground. So J.J. Clark doing a very good job. That's the senior. He was promoted from the junior varsity. He had an outstanding junior campaign on the JV, over 1,000 yards rushing, and now he has joined the varsity and done a stupendous job. 2nd down and 11 on the 45. Haley's in motion, and flags fly. And it's against Plymouth Whitemarsh. It's a delay of game penalty. And certainly, as you stressed in the past games, Coach Iacovetti wants his team to cut down on penalties as best as he can. In fact, in the last home game, that was October 18th, the Plymouth Whitemarsh Colonials had a great deal of penalties, but unfortunately it did not affect the outcome.
Yeah, as you said, the Colonials they've given up a lot of penalties, and most teams can't capitalize on that.
Second down and 16 on the 50. We could see Borshevitz air it out here on second down. In motion goes Carl Haley, but the handoff goes to number 33, J.J. Clark. J.J. kind of slipped there, but he did pick up some yardage. Close to 10 yards on the carry by number 33, the outstanding senior, J.J. Clark.
J.J. Clark bolted right through the defensive line of the Wissahickon Trojans. Big holes there by the offensive line.
So the first quarter here at Colonial Field has come to an end. Plymouth Whitemarsh, however, finds themselves trailing 7-6 to the Wissahickon Trojans. Just recapping the scoring thus far at Colonial Field. Plymouth Whitemarsh on the opening drive. Sean Cameron Smith took it in from 9 yards for the touchdown, making it 6-0. However, Joel O'Donnell, one of the best kickers in the area, was unsuccessful on the extra point. So the score remained 6-0. Then Wissahickon on their opening drive on a big pass play from Curtis to Dwayne Watson, a 40-yard pass, which put Wissahickon on the 18-yard line of Plymouth Whitemarsh. That set up the top running back for Wissahickon, Joey Lowe, who took the ball in from 18 yards for the touchdown, and the extra point by Schimpf was good, making the score 7-6, and that's where we stand right now. Plymouth Whitemarsh with the football as we begin the second quarter. Third down and 8 on the 42. Borshevitz hands it off on this important third down play to J.J. Clark. And I don't think he got the first down. He is short by at least 2 yards.
And the Colonials in the first quarter, they controlled the ball very well. But as you saw, with just 2 plays, Wissahickon came back, and that's the difference in the game thus far. But that's what the Colonials have to do. They have to control the ball on offense.
Joe Iacovetti, the coach of the Plymouth Whitemarsh Colonials, was a bit concerned coming into this game about 3 main players. That was Ron Curtis, Dwayne Watson, and Joey Lowe. They're the main guys. They're the offensive weapons for the Wissahickon Trojans, who they have to contain. But on third down and 3, Jason Borshevitz hands it off to J.J. Clark. J.J. Clark gets the first down easily for the Plymouth Whitemarsh Colonials.
Number 9.
And J.J. Clark showing why he's nicknamed the Hitman. He's hitting everything in front of him.
That was a fourth down play and short, and a good call, I think, by Coach Iacovetti, going for it on fourth down and short. And of course, the Plymouth Whitemarsh offense, the top offense in the area, gets the first down and keeps the drive alive thanks to number 33, J.J. Clark, with a big 15-yard run right there. First down and 10 on the 22. Mitchell to the near side. Already, Mitchell having a great season. The handoff is to number 32, Sean C. Smith.
And the Colonials they've had success this game going up the middle. And there again, great blocking by the offensive line for Sean C. Smith to get through there.
Sean C. Smith is not very big, but he is certainly one of the outstanding running backs in southeastern Pennsylvania. He already has, as I mentioned, over 700 yards on the season, including 6 touchdowns. On first down and 10, Carl Haley goes in motion. The handoff goes to J.J. Clark, who is thrown for a loss.
And the Wissahickon Trojans defense read that play very well. Saw J.J. Clark going to the outside and picked it up right there for a loss.
Just under 10 minutes to play here at Colonial Field in the Suburban One American Conference matchup between the Plymouth Whitemarsh Colonials and the Wissahickon Trojans. This will bring up an important second down and 12 play on the 14 for the Plymouth Whitemarsh Colonials with an outstanding offensive unit. The handoff goes to number 32, Sean C. Smith.
Tackled by Andrews.
And the Colonials have done great inside the 20-yard line this year. They've scored at least a field goal on every possession inside the 20-yard line.
Raphael Andrews again for the Wissahickon Trojans. That name keeps coming up. He was on the tackle again. A great defensive player for the Wissahickon Trojans, who enter the game 2-6 and 0-4 in the Freedom Division. On third down and 8, Carl Haley is in the end zone for a touchdown. A 9-yard touchdown run by number 9 himself, Carl the Comet Haley.
And that was Carl Haley's third carry of the game, and he gets in there for the touchdown easily.
So certainly an outstanding performance has been put forth thus far by the PW offense, as on 2 drives, Plymouth Whitemarsh has already accumulated 12 points, and they will go for the 2-point conversion here. A good call by Coach Iacovetti. Borshevitz fires complete. That was Carl Haley on the 2-point conversion.
And that was a good call by Coach Iacovetti going for the 2-point conversion. He sees that this game is going to be close, and every point is going to make a difference in this game.
As you mentioned, a very good call there by PW's Coach Iacovetti, and it paid off as Borshevitz was right on target with that great pass to number 9, Carl Haley, who, of course, ran the ball in from 9 yards out for the touchdown. And speaking of that touchdown, we need to take another look at that 9-yard touchdown run by the outstanding speedster, Carl the Comet Haley, the senior. As you'll take a look right here. On the 9-yard line, Jason Borshevitz with a handoff to Carl Haley, and there you saw the 2-point conversion was good as Borshevitz found Carl Haley wide open. Touchdown, and the 2-point conversion was good. PW is ahead 14-7. And now here's where their defense has to, as Josh would say, buckle down and play very tight in order to contain the powerful offensive unit that Wissahickon does possess. Plymouth Whitemarsh will kick it off. O'Donnell kicks it off. That was Jeff Emmel on the kickoff, excuse me, and it's taken close to the 25-yard line.
And the carry is by Andrews.
And he only gets up to about the 26.
Again,
the ball was taken close to the 20-yard line, and only a 6-yard return there.
A short kick there by the Colonials, but again, the special teams getting down there quickly, and the Wissahickon returner picks up virtually 0 yards.
First down and 10 on the 27 for the Wissahickon Trojans. Here's where PW's defense has to play tight to prevent another quick score by the Trojans. The handoff by Ron Curtis. The quarterback goes to...
Carried by number 34.
That was number 34 for the Wissahickon Trojans.
Matt Davey, and the
That's
tackle
Matt Davey.
by Santoro.
Joe Santoro on the tackle for the Plymouth Whitemarsh Colonials. And of course, number 34, Matt Davey, the running back for the Wissahickon Trojans on that last play, is a player to watch. In the 28-14 loss to Hatboro Horsham, Davey only had 3 yards, but he is a rushing threat for the Trojans. On third down, you saw a loss there as Ron Curtis was dropping back but slipped.
Third down, 14 for the Trojans.
And the field is very wet tonight. So it's good.
Colonial Field, of course, is known for its slipperiness. And as you saw, Ron Curtis on that last play did slip. Number 9, Ron Curtis fires complete to a wide receiver on third down and 13, but he's not even close to the first down.
Number 42, Elmo.
And the pass being high there by Ron Curtis gave the defense a chance to get over there.
Ryan.
Eddie the Hurricane O'Brien on the tackle for Plymouth Whitemarsh. This will bring up a fourth down play for the Wissahickon Trojans. And obviously they're not going to go for it because they're deep in Plymouth Whitemarsh territory, or make that they're deep in their own territory. And back to receive it will be number 32, Sean Cameron Smith, close to the 40. Oh, and the snap is dropped by the kicker, and the Colonials recover close to the 12-yard line. So Plymouth Whitemarsh is in outstanding field position, all because of that miscommunication there by the snapper and the kicker for the Wissahickon Trojans.
And last week in the win against Upper Dublin, they also had a block punt And this time the defense gets in there and picks up the ball.
That was Howard Polonius Lasky on the recovery for Plymouth Whitemarsh. First down and 10 on the 13 for Plymouth Whitemarsh as they are threatening to put some more points on the board. Number 32, Sean C. Smith gets the ball on this play and picks up some yardage for Plymouth Whitemarsh.
And 62, Foley.
Number 62, Henry Foley on the tackle for the Trojans.
Sean C. Smith getting a lot of work done out there. He's carried the ball so far 14 times and picking up big yardage on every carry.
Second down and 5 on the 8-yard line of the Trojans. Borshevitz is back to pass. He fires. It's complete. No. The ball apparently was dropped. It looked as though from my vantage point that the ball was in Carl Haley's hands, but he just did not have control of it and dropped it. But certainly if he had caught the ball, Carl Haley would have been in the end zone for the touchdown.
That was a great effort by Carl Haley and a pretty nice pass there by Jason Borshevitz. It was a good call there by Coach Iacovetti. It caught the Wissahickon Trojans off guard there.
Third down and 5 on the 8-yard line. As number 9, Carl Haley gets the call this time, but he is tackled in the backfield. He ran laterally for a while, but was unable to turn the corner and get the yardage. So this is going to be a very interesting call here on a 4th down and 5. Will we see Joel? Yes, Joel O'Donnell, number 8, is coming in to attempt the field goal.
And that's a smart call by Coach Iacovetti. The Wissahickon Trojans are playing good defense thus far, and every point's going to count in this game.
And this will be a 27-yard attempt. And the field goal by Joel O'Donnell is no good.
So the Colonials with 5 minutes.
Joel O'Donnell is unsuccessful on the field goal. And thus far in the season, Joel O'Donnell, of course, with 24 extra points and 4 field goals, but he was unable to come up with that one. That was a 27-yard field goal attempt, but O'Donnell was unsuccessful. So Plymouth Whitemarsh. So the Plymouth Whitemarsh defense is going to have to come in now as Wissahickon will take over.
Wissahickon hadn't planned on coming into this game, making it close, but thus far they've kept it close, and they want to go into halftime down by a touchdown or even less.
First down and 10 with 3 wide receivers. Ron Curtis, on the other hand, hands it off. That was Joey Lowe on the carry.
And Lasky.
Howard Lasky and Joe Santora on the tackle for the Colonials.
And Joe Santora has been very impressive this year, coming off a knee injury, and he's having a great season on defense.
I'd just like to mention before this next play that number 8, Joel O'Donnell, who was unsuccessful in the 27-yard field goal, appears to be hurt on the bench. His foot may be bothering him, so that may have been why he did miss that 27-yard field goal. On second down, Ron Curtis airs it out, but it's incomplete. That was intended for number 9, Dwayne Watson. As you know, Dwayne Watson was the recipient of that big 40-yard touchdown pass that we saw in the first quarter, Josh, and that duo has hooked up before. They're certainly very dangerous, and PW is going to have to watch them tonight.
Yeah, Wissahickon has shown tonight that they're going to go deep, and that was great coverage there by the Colonials. It looked like a triple team there.
Just over 4 minutes remaining till halftime. It's Plymouth Whitemarsh 14, Wissahickon 7. An important 3rd down and 10 play here for the Trojans. Will we see Ron Curtis, the quarterback, air it out, Josh?
That is a possibility. Ron Curtis, thus far, is very successful.
He's back to throw. It almost slips again, but fires complete to a wide receiver and does get the first down, it looks like. That was Dwayne Watson. That duo has hooked up twice tonight. So the Wissahickon Trojans keep their drive alive there on that big 12-yard pass from the quarterback, Ron Curtis, number 9, to Dwayne Watson.
And again, that was the main concern of the Colonials, Dwayne Watson. They have to watch him tonight.
First down and 10 on the 34-yard line. Wissahickon with a drive still alive. Ron Curtis, the quarterback, back to throw it. He can run too, and he jumps as he throws that one. Almost found the receiver once again, Dwayne Watson, but Watson was covered very tightly, and the pass was incomplete. So that's what the PW defense has to do tonight.
And that was a very dangerous pass there by Ron Curtis. He was off balance. He really didn't have a wide receiver. He was just trying to get the ball away because he saw the Colonials defense coming in on him.
Joel O'Donnell, the outstanding kicker for the Plymouth Whitemarsh Colonials and also a great soccer player, has his uniform off, and we are certainly concerned about his condition. He is being attended to by the trainer, and we certainly hope the best for the outstanding kicker, Joel O'Donnell. On 2nd down and 10, Ron Curtis hands it off. That was Joey Lowe once again. We're seeing a lot of Joey Lowe tonight.
Joey Lowe had nowhere to go on that play. And the Colonials shutting off all the holes there.
Joe Santoro and Howard Lasky contribute to the tackle for Plymouth Whitemarsh. Earlier this week, Joe Iacovetti mentioned that one of the keys for this game is they're going to have to contain the quarterback Ron Curtis, who in the season thus far has been pretty impressive. Ron Curtis for Wissahickon, the senior. 48 passes, 129 yards, 129 attempts, 560 yards. And on this play, we see an incomplete pass from Ron Curtis to Dwayne Watson. It's incomplete.
And Wade Masters there with great coverage. He was right on the man, and the wide receiver cannot hang on to the ball.
Ron Curtis is a quarterback with a lot of speed, agility, mobility. He can certainly run with the ball as well as pass it. So PW is going to have to contain him tonight, and they've done a pretty good job, except for that big 40-yard pass early in the first half from Curtis to Watson. And here's the punt by the Trojans. And it rolls all the way down inside the 20-yard line. It's close to the 30-yard line, make that. So Plymouth Whitemarsh will take over 1st down and 10 on the 30-yard line with 3 minutes remaining in the first half here at Colonial Field. It's 14-7 in favor of the Colonials.
And that punt was almost blocked again there. The Colonials getting in there, going right past the offensive line.
Certainly the PW defense is really coming on strong and playing very well. They have allowed a touchdown tonight, however, in the first quarter. But since then, they have really come on very strong. On 1st down and 10, the handoff by Borshevitz went to Sean Cameron Smith.
And I think this is a very important series for the Colonials. With under 3 minutes to go in the half, and the Colonials are only up by 7 points. I think they're going to have to get the ball into the end zone before half.
And I'm watching on the bench right now, Joel O'Donnell, number 8, is down on the bench, and of course his knee has a whole bunch of ice on it. Borshevitz on this play airs it out deep, intended for number 82, Sean Mitchell, but it's incomplete. Getting back to O'Donnell, he is on the bench right now. Ice is being applied to his knee, and we certainly hope that he's all right, but obviously there is some injury to the outstanding kicker, Joel O'Donnell. And on that play, you saw Jason Borshevitz go for a deep pass to his wideout, Sean Mitchell, but he was unsuccessful.
But you're going to see Jason Borshevitz do that a lot tonight, or not a lot, but that's what he mainly does this year. Throws the ball long, and you're going to see him throw long tonight.
3rd down and 4 on the 36. 3 wide receivers for Plymouth Whitemarsh. Borshevitz, however, hands it off to Sean C. Smith, and Sean Huck Smith gets the 1st down.
Sean Smith having a very impressive first half. And in order for the Colonials to have success this game, they're going to have to keep on going to him.
1st down and 10 on the 47 for Plymouth Whitemarsh. They have been very successful on 3rd down conversions. Under 2 minutes to play before halftime. at Colonial Field, 14-7, PW with the lead. Again, 3 wide receivers to the near side. Borshevitz drops back into the pocket. Fires complete to Sean Mitchell, number 82. Mitchell keeps going. Sean Mitchell with outstanding speed is finally taken down close to the 30-yard line. So Sean Mitchell on the reception with that little crossing pattern, turns in, gets some more yardage. Sean Mitchell with a first down and a big catch for Plymouth White Marsh.
And that is Jason Borshevitz's favorite wide receiver. He's hooked up with him various times this season, and they've been very successful.
Sean Mitchell, the senior, has 17 receptions on the season, 404 yards. He averages 23.8 yards every catch. And he does have 3 touchdowns on the season.
And from our stat man, we have seen Sean C. Smith has carried the ball 16 times and is already over the 100-yard mark.
Sean Mitchell
with
on that reception
yards.
Was close to a 20-yard catch.
So Sean C. Smith having a great first half, going over the 100-yard mark already.
Sean Cameron Smith already with 108 yards on the night. First down and 10 on the 33 for Plymouth White Marsh, as they are threatening to score once again.
And as I said, there's a big series for the Colonials. I think they have to get the ball into the end zone. And if they do, they'll be up by 14, 13 points, and maybe including the extra point, go up by 14 into the half.
In case you were wondering, last year's meeting between these two teams, Plymouth White Marsh was the winner, 35-7. And PW is hoping to rout the Trojans once again tonight. First down and 10 on the 33, Mitchell, the outstanding wide receiver who caught that 24-yard catch. It's split to the near side. Haley goes in motion. Borshevitz hands it off. That was Sean C. Smith once again. Sean C. Smith was with over 800 yards on the season. He is certainly going towards his goal of 1,000 yards.
And as I said, with 4 games remaining, he will definitely get that mark.
And on the second down play, the pass was complete to Sean Mitchell. Jason Borshevitz on the 32-yard line, dropped back and fired a pass to Sean Mitchell.
And the Colonials really catching the Wissahickon Trojans off guard, going with the pass this series. And with a minute 18 remaining, the Colonials might keep on going with the pass.
And it's another first down for Plymouth White Marsh. Now they're on the 20-yard line of Wissahickon. Just over a minute to play before halftime. They have plenty of time to get into the end zone. Mitchell to the near side. Haley's in motion once again. 2 backs in the backfield. Borshevitz drops back. He fires a pass complete to Sean Mitchell, who is going towards the end zone but just can't get there. Mitchell picks up 15 yards on that reception.
So Jason
Watson on the tackle.
Jason Borshevitz looking very impressive. I think he only has 1 incomplete pass thus far. He's showing that he's a good quarterback. He's got great talent, and also he's got great speed.
Jason Borshevitz was very conservative in the 32-0 victory against Upper Dublin last week. 5 of 6, 124 yards, and those 2 big touchdown passes to Sean Mitchell. On first down and 10, the handoff by Jason Borshevitz goes to number 33, J.J. Clark, but he just can't get into the end zone.
And they've seen that, the Colonials have seen that the Wissahickon defense is very good on the pass. In previous games, only giving up 407 yards this year on the pass, so the Colonials go with the run. But in this game, the Colonials have been going more to the pass. Jason Borshevitz passing the ball more times than he has this season, and really catching the Wissahickon Trojans off guard.
42 seconds remain before halftime. It's 14-7 in favor of the Colonials, playing on November 1st here at Colonial Field. Jason Borshevitz, of course, the junior quarterback, is filling in for the injured Todd Hunsiger. And Todd Hunsiger is on the sidelines tonight. Of course, Hunsiger is nursing an injured finger. And Todd Hunsiger, we hope, will recover very soon, but Jason Borshevitz is doing a great job filling in at quarterback. 2nd down and 5. Borshevitz throws.
Yes.
It's in to the end zone for the touchdown. Jason Borshevitz. Jason Borshevitz fires to Wayne Masters, the tight end, for the 5-yard touchdown. And Plymouth Whitemarsh all of a sudden has a 20-7 lead.
Jason Borshevitz had to make that pass perfect. There was, I think, three defenders around Wayne Masters, and he put it right between all 3 of them. So great pass there by Jason Borshevitz. And also a great catch by Wayne Masters. Great concentration there. Keeping
the tight end with his first touchdown reception of the year. PW will attempt 2 points here as J.J. Clark, number 33, can't get into the end zone. But the Colonials have a comfortable 20-7 lead.
Second period, Colonials 20, Wissahickon 7.
And
so certainly the Colonials must feel a lot better going into halftime with a 20-7 lead instead of 14-7. They have a little bit more of a cushion there, Josh, and we would like to take another look at this instant replay. As we can see, the 5-yard touchdown reception by the tight end, Wayne Masters. Apparently we're unable to get that instant replay to you, but it was a 5-yard touchdown catch by the tight end Wayne Masters, his first touchdown of the year.
To kick off for the Colonials.
So with 35 seconds left before halftime, Jeff Emmel will kick it off for Plymouth Whitemarsh.
Andrews and Lowe deep for the Trojans.
Back to receive is Joey Lowe, along with another Trojan, and a good kick there by Jeff Emmel as it takes a bounce, and it's close to the 30-yard line. A low kick there by Jeff.
And that was a smart kickoff by Jeff Emmel there. They don't want, they're keeping the ball away from Joey Lowe. As I saw in the opening series for Wissahickon, Joey Lowe picked up a great return.
There you saw the score on the screen, 20-7 in favor of Plymouth Whitemarsh. Ron Curtis is back to throw. He fires a deep bomb. Intercepted by Plymouth Whitemarsh. That interception was number 82, Sean Mitchell. Mitchell's having a great game.
And Ron Curtis there going for a Hail Mary. And I thought that there was still time left on the clock there. I think that he could have ran a couple plays, gotten the ball up a little farther, and maybe kicked a field goal. But right away going with the Hail Mary. And Sean Mitchell with a great interception.
So Curtis there was going deep to a wide receiver, most likely that was Dwayne Watson, but it was intercepted. Curtis on the year with 10 interceptions, and that was number 11. So the seconds tick off the clock, and we have arrived at halftime here at Colonial Field. The Plymouth Whitemarsh Colonials go into halftime with a 20-7 lead over the Wissahickon Trojans. Just recapping the scoring very briefly, Plymouth Whitemarsh in the first quarter had a 9-yard touchdown run by Sean C. Smith, making it 6-0. But Wissahickon responded in a hurry after a 40-yard pass from Curtis to Dwayne Watson. That set up Joey Lowe's 18-yard touchdown run, 6-6. The extra point was good by Wissahickon, making it 7-6. In the second quarter, we saw Carl Haley go in from 9 yards for Plymouth Whitemarsh, making it 12-7, and then the 2-point conversion by Haley was good as well, 14-7. And just moments ago, you saw Jason Borshevitz's pass to the tight end Wayne Masters, a 5-yard touchdown reception, 20-7. The 2-point conversion was no good, so Plymouth Whitemarsh goes into halftime with a 20-7 lead. I'm Stephen Principali along with Josh Weisman. Please join us for the second half of play. We started apparently.
Let's roll, Pete. Give him a roll call here. Let's go. It's you.
To begin the third
Uh-oh.
period.
What's wrong? Tint? Balance, maybe.
Yeah.
Right, there you go. Okay.
That looks better.
talking about the second half.
I'll start it off.
You want to?
You didn't hear on Robin, did you? Today I did not. She's up at Hershey. The fact that she's not back, maybe she did all right because if she won, they'd stay over.
She won. She won the first 2 rounds.
Today?
Not today. Yeah, I think yesterday.
I know that. She's in the quarterfinals tonight? Yeah. Gary? She's up at Hershey, yeah. So if we don't see her by the end of the game or her parents, I didn't see Sandy. I was looking for her at halftime. It was her dad, and I was, so maybe if they aren't back, maybe that's a good sign. I don't know.
Good evening and welcome back to the second half of football action here at Colonial Field between the Plymouth White Marsh Colonials and the Wissahickon Trojans. And Jeff Emmel kicks it off. It's a short kick taken at the 35-yard line by Lau. Make that Dwayne Watson, number 9. Number 34 for the Wissahickon Trojans, that's Matt Davey. Matt Matheson for the Colonials on the tackle.
The Colonials have to come out fired up in the second half. They saw in the first half that they were in for trouble in the game. They have to come up big this half.
So we'll see what kind of offense Wissahickon can produce here. In the second half, the handoff on first down goes to... That's Andrews. Sean Messenger, number 62 on the tackle for Plymouth White Marsh, the defensive player of the week.
Yes, Sean Messenger with an interception and a blocked punt last week against Upper Dublin. Had a great game. Besides those punts, the blocked punt and interception, he had many tackles.
That was a 3-yard gain there. Ron Curtis, the quarterback for Wissahickon, drops back. He rolls and fires incomplete.
Ron Curtis, seeing the pressure by the Colonials defense, had to get the ball off in a hurry, and good coverage by the Colonials secondary.
Wissahickon finds themselves trailing here in the second half of action, 20-7. And this will bring up an important 3rd down and 7 play. Can we see, Josh, on this 3rd down play, Ron Curtis air it out?
Look for Ron Curtis to air the ball out. They have their 3rd down and 7. They need points quickly.
Mr. Boylan says Ron Curtis will be sacked. And he is right. There is even a fumble. Mr. Boylan in the press box is calling the plays. He was exactly right on that. Josh thought that he would air it out. Mr. Ron Curtis did drop back to air it out, but the PW defense got to him. A sack and the fumble.
It looked like Ron Curtis could not handle the ball there, and the Colonials come up big. Good field position right off the bat in the 3rd quarter.
So PW with great field position on the 41-yard line of Wissahickon. And on first down, Jason Borshevitz gives it to number 32, that's Sean C. Smith.
And Sean C. Smith in the first half went over 100 yards, 111 yards total on 16 carries.
Number 7, number 70.
Half, a great half for Sean C. Smith. Look for the Colonials to go to him more often in the second half.
Jeff Harvey, number 70 of Wissahickon on the tackle. This will bring up 2nd down and 9, a 1-yard pickup on the 40. PW is in Wissahickon territory and threatening to score. Borshevitz drops back, fires. It's complete. That was Sean Mitchell, number 82 on the reception. He's having a very fine night, including an interception there at the end of the 2nd quarter. Sean Mitchell with a pickup there of 8 yards.
And Jason Borshevitz was very impressive in the first half, completing 4 of his 7 passes for 52 yards and a touchdown. So the Colonials coming out strong in the 3rd quarter with the
3rd
offense.
down and 2 on the 32 for Plymouth White Marsh. Borshevitz hands it off. On the carry was number 32. That's Sean C. Smith.
Tackle by number 88, Ryan of the Trojans.
Tim Ryan of the Wissahickon Trojans, number 88 on the tackle.
4th down 1 for the Colonials.
And also look for the Colonials to run the ball more often this half. They want to control the clock.
Give us those plugs back. Yes. Thank you. Thank you. Again, we're gonna stand, Steve.
4th down and 1. And Jason Borshevitz on this 4th and short play hands it off to Sean C. Smith, who gets the first down.
And the Colonials very conservative in the second half thus far. Going with the run, they want to control the clock with a comfortable lead. This 20-7. They don't want the Wissahickon Trojans to get back on the board.
So there you see 1st down and 10. Borshevitz on 1st down, drops back, a deep pass. It's complete to Sean Mitchell. Number 82, Sean Mitchell in the end zone on a 26-yard touchdown reception from Jason Borshevitz to Sean Mitchell.
That's Jason Borshevitz's favorite wide receiver this year, hooking up with him again for a touchdown, and that's Jason's 6th touchdown this year. And that was great concentration by Sean Mitchell. Kept his eye on the ball and had perfect timing on the jump.
That duo of Jason Borshevitz and Mitchell have hooked up many times this season for touchdown passes, and there was a 26-yarder. On a 2-point conversion here, Plymouth Whitemarsh goes for it, and Carl Haley gets the 2-point conversion.
And again, with Joe O'Donnell on the bench, the Colonials go for the 2-point conversion. As you saw in the first half, Joe O'Donnell had a knee injury. He's on crutches right now, and that's why the Colonials go with the 2-point conversion.
So on that 1st down play, Borshevitz dropped back, as you see on the instant replay, and found his wide receiver, number 82, Sean Mitchell, for the 26-yard touchdown pass. And then you just saw the 2-point conversion there, giving Plymouth Whitemarsh a 28-7 lead over the Trojans.
So the Colonials are out in front with a very comfortable lead. The Trojans are going to have to fight back, and it's going to be very tough against this tough Colonials defense.
Jeff Emma will kick it off for PW with a 28-7 lead. And certainly we could see some of the JV players get into the action in the 4th quarter if PW continues to score. Jeff Emma kicks it off for PW. It's a good kick, and it's taken at the 20-yard line by Wissahickon, and a flag goes down, and it's brought all the way up to the 38-yard line.
Tackled by O'Brien and Haley. Penalty on the play.
One of the most impressive defensive players this year has been Ed O'Brien, and as you saw, he was on the tackle right there. He's had very big games, interceptions, fumbles, and various tackles.
Apparently clipping has been called against the Wissahickon Trojans. First down and 10 on the 20. The Wissahickon Trojans will start it off on the 20-yard line. They put 2 wide receivers to the far side. Ron Curtis with a handoff.
Carried by Lowe.
That was Joe Lowe. The tackle was made by number 45, Howard Lasky.
Joe Santoro.
Lasky and Joe Santoro with big tackles there for Plymouth Whitemarsh.
Deep in their own territory, Wissahickon has to look to go to the pass, down by 3 touchdowns. I think that would be very smart to do.
And on this play, Wissahickon fires a pass to number 9, Dwayne Watson. And those two have really hooked up tonight several times. Dwayne Watson, number 9, the wide receiver, is down on the field. And if we can get a shot of that, we might be able to see, yes, there you see the outstanding wide receiver, number 9, Dwayne Watson for Wissahickon, is down on the field. And he had a big touchdown reception in the first quarter, a 40-yarder. And Watson is down.
And the Colonials in past games have injured Not on purpose, I don't think, but they've injured some key players of their teams, of other teams.
28-7 in favor of Plymouth White Marsh here at Colonial Field on the 1st of November. Plymouth White Marsh with one of the most explosive offensive units in the area. Their offense is averaging, as I mentioned before, 335 yards per game. The Plymouth White Marsh offense in 8 games has scored 218 points while only allowing 58. So Plymouth White Marsh is doing a great job on offense. And there you saw number 9.
This could be a big loss for the for Wissahickon. Ron Curtis, that's his favorite wide receiver, and it's going to be a big loss for the Wissahickon Trojans.
Dwayne Watson gets back on his feet. And on this play, number 33 on the carry, but he bumped into his own man and tripped. So it will be a loss for the Trojans.
Second down, 13.
So with Dwayne Watson out of the game, look for the Trojans to go more to the run to Joey Lowe. Their key target, Dwayne Watson on the bench. Ron Curtis doesn't have him to go to.
28-7 in favor of Plymouth White Marsh. 6:43 remaining in the 3rd quarter. Ron Curtis, a quick drop and fires.
Curtis's pass is
Complete to a receiver. Good coverage there by number 87, Wayne Masters. The reception was made by Tim Ryan, number 88 for the Trojans.
The Wissahickon Trojans going to short passes, picking up some good yardage though.
Wissahickon now faces a tough predicament. 3rd down and 13. Apparently that pass was complete, it was dropped. So this will bring up a 3rd down and 13 play for the Trojans. And we certainly, Josh, will probably see them air it out here. Curtis is indeed back to throw. He rolls to the right, trips, falls down, and a flag goes down as well.
And there was a hole for him to go through, but he slips up and he couldn't go anywhere.
Holding against Wissahickon.
And the flag was the penalty, holding against Wissahickon, as you heard there.
And that was the main reason why there was a hole up in the offensive line, holding.
The 50-50 winner. The pot is so big, I can't tell you how much.
Plymouth White Marsh is 4-0 in the Liberty Division, while Wissahickon in the Freedom Division of the Suburban One American Conference is 0-3. And those two are going at it tonight from Colonial Field. It's 4th down and 11. And back to receive for the Colonials. Looks like it's number 32, Sean C. Smith. There's the punt. Sean C. Smith lets it roll, and it's down close to the 38-yard line.
Very smart play there by Sean C. Smith, getting away from the ball. The ball was bouncing on the ground, and it's very dangerous. If it touches Sean C. Smith, the Wissahickon Trojans could recover the ball, so he got away from it right when it hit the ground.
By reporting to the announcer's booth.
So this will bring a 1st down and 10 for the Plymouth White Marsh Colonials as they get back on offense. And one of the key points that we'd like to make in this game, and I'll let Josh make it, because the Trojans do have a problem, and I believe it has to do with their depth. Josh, can you expand on that?
Yeah, they have to use. They don't have many players on their team, and their conditioning and lack of depth, as Steve just said. The Wissahickons, they use the Wissahickons' entire line on offense, the offensive line. They also use on defense as well, including both of the tight ends and running backs, Wilson and Lowe.
So PW is more rested. They are the team in which they have pretty much a separate offensive unit and a separate defensive unit, with the exception of a few players, while Wissahickon, because of their lack of depth, as you mentioned, they pretty much play their players on offense and defense. In fact, I was reading before the game that the offensive line of Wissahickon, including the tight ends, running backs, quarterback, Curtis, are all the starters on defense as well. So that just shows you that the Wissahickon Trojans are not as rested as Plymouth Whitemarsh, and that may indeed be a factor in this game, as Plymouth Whitemarsh is leading 28-7.
The Colonials don't have that problem. The Colonials use all their players, and they give the players a big rest, and it's a big advantage.
So first down and 10 for Plymouth Whitemarsh with just under 6 minutes to play. The give is to number 33, J.J. Clark. J.J. Clark, number 33, on the carry for Plymouth Whitemarsh. Lowe and Andrews contribute to the tackle for the Trojans, along with Brian.
Pickup of about 9 for the Colonials.
So PW on that running play on first down picks up about 9 yards, thanks to J.J. Clark.
The Colonials have to control the clock this half. They're up by 21 points, and that's a big cushion for them. They're going to run the ball. They're going to run the ball more consistently in this second half.
The 50-50 number.
This will bring up a second down and 1 play for Plymouth Whitemarsh, and the chain crew is coming out to measure.
9-4.
I would just like to mention, congratulations goes to Sean Cameron Smith, who had an article about him in the paper this week, commending him on a fabulous job that he is indeed doing for the Colonials. He has been an outstanding running back. He has over 800 yards rushing thus far in the season. And the Times-Herald, the paper in which the article about him was in, praised Smith for a fine job that he has done on both sides of the field thus far this season. So my personal congratulations go out to Sean C. Smith. And in the last home game against Penridge, Plymouth Whitemarsh defeated Penridge, of course, 46-0. And in that game, our very fine fruit juice player of the game was indeed Sean C. Smith. So he's a player who's definitely improving, an outstanding running back, a great speedster, and he has a lot of talent.
And now Sean C. Smith is eligible for our very fine fruit juice player of the year.
Yes, that makes him, that qualifies him for that. Second down and 1. The handoff goes to, guess who? Sean Huck Smith.
Smith on the carry, tackle by Joey Lowe.
Joey Lowe on the tackle for the Trojans, but that was number 32, Sean C. Smith, who broke through with outstanding speed and picked up some yardage, getting the first down for Plymouth Whitemarsh easily.
And as I said before, he rushed for over 100 yards in the first half, and looking to do that as well in the second half.
Just over 5 minutes remaining in the third quarter. It's Plymouth Whitemarsh 28, Wissahickon 7. And PW is threatening to score once again. Carl Haley goes in motion, and the handoff goes to number 9, Carl Haley. Haley gets about 5 yards. So a great job there by the senior running back, who I might mention last year, he started as a junior as well on varsity. He replaced the outstanding running back now at Boston College, Dwight Shirley. Dwight Shirley, during the 1989 season, was an outstanding running back at Plymouth Whitemarsh High, and his success continues at college. In Boston College, he is a redshirt freshman and doing a great job for BC. Second down and 6, Borshevitz hands it off. That was J.J. Clark, number 33, on the carry.
And getting back to Dwight Shirley again, I'd like to congratulate him. 2 weeks ago against Louisville, he was named the Big East Player of the Week.
And of course, the Louisville Cardinals in that game suffered a big 33-3 loss. And of course, I might mention that Josh is a little disappointed because Louisville is one of his favorite college football teams and basketball teams. So it's third down and 2 on the 32. Borshevitz hands it off. On the carry was number 9, Carl Haley.
Sean C. Smith on the carry.
Make that Sean C. Smith number 32.
Tackle by number 52.
And Sean C. Smith again picks up big yardage there on the carry.
Carl, make that Sean C. Smith, as I mentioned before, doing a great job for PW in his senior season. 28-7, and it's first down and 10 on the 20. Borshevitz hands it off to number 33, J.J. Clark.
J.J. Clark up the middle. Tackle by number 52, Edgar.
And again, in past games, the Colonials have come out in the second half very sharp, scoring right away. And again, they're shutting down the Wissahickon offense, and they've already scored a touchdown in this half. and closing in on another one.
So Plymouth Whitemarsh now has a great opportunity to score as it's first down and goal.
And with 3:19 remaining in the third quarter, the Colonials have controlled. They've controlled the ball on offense this quarter for just about the whole quarter.
Getting back to colleges and Dwight Shirley. Dwight Shirley has been doing a fabulous job, the Big East player of the game. He's rushed for over 100 yards in several games, doing a great job as a redshirt freshman, and many colleges have also expressed interest in many of the Colonials. Here on first down and goal, the handoff goes to number 32. That's number 33, J.J. Clark, but the tackle is made by Andrews.
J.J. Clark picking up some tough yardage there, going right through the offensive line. And they're closing in on another score.
So this will bring up second down and goal for Plymouth Whitemarsh.
Somebody by the name of Smith claims to have won the 50-50. That's probably to get all you tax reporters out of their hair.
Second down and goal. Hopefully Plymouth Whitemarsh can get in here. They send Carl Haley in motion. Borshevitz hands it off. J.J. Clark is in the end zone for a touchdown. A 4-yard touchdown run by J.J. Clark with 2:18 to go in the third quarter.
And that could have just closed it up for the Colonials. That they go up by 3-4 touchdowns now. And that's a big hole for the Wissahickon Trojans to get into.
J.J. Clark, the fullback, has 9 touchdowns coming into the game, and of course that was number 10. So J.J. Clark is having an outstanding season for Plymouth Whitemarsh. And now with a 34-7 lead, they will apparently go for the 2-point conversion. Borshevitz will pass it here for the 2 points. And it's good, yes. Plymouth Whitemarsh with a 2-point conversion. Carl Haley is the recipient on that 2-point conversion, and that is Carl Haley's third 2-point conversion of the night.
And again, the Colonials going to the 2-point conversion because of the injury to Joel O'Donnell. And you'll see them go to that again if they score.
So 3 2-point conversions as you're gonna take another look there at the instant replay from 4 yards out. That was number 33, J.J. Clark, taking it in from 4 yards for the touchdown. And Carl Haley with a big 2-point conversion, putting PW up 36-7. And since that big touchdown that we saw in the first quarter, as Joey Lowe from Wissahickon ran it in from 8 yards, Wissahickon has totally been stopped on offense. That is the only points that they have scored in the game in the first quarter, those 7 points, and the score is 36-7 with Plymouth Whitemarsh ahead.
Again, the Colonials are going for their 7th straight victory after suffering 2 losses in the opening games of the season.
And it's taken at the 20-yard line by Wissahickon.
McDavie on the carry.
That was McDavie on the carry. And he brings it up to about the 35-yard line, so a 15-yard return.
So look for the JV players to get some playing time in this game. Give the varsity players a little rest. They have a big lead, and the game is over as far as I'm concerned.
Certainly we will see some of the JV players get some action, as Josh mentioned, such as sophomore sensations Mark Washington and Matt Matheson.
36-yard line.
And on first down and 10, Ron Curtis decides to take off with the football.
Curtis on the carry.
That is something that Ron Curtis hasn't done tonight. He has not run the ball very often. In past games, he has done that. He's got great speed, and that was, I think, his first carry as the quarterback.
So Curtis gets some yardage on that play. Number 74, Mark Haley, comes out of the game for Plymouth Whitemarsh as it's now second down and 6 on the 40 for the Trojans. And they, on this play, have 3 wide receivers. Split to the left. Curtis is back to throw. He's going to air it out. He fires a pass. It's broken up by Plymouth Whitemarsh. Great coverage there by PW.
Carl Haley was right there. Carl Haley, J.J. Clark, they were all right there. Great coverage.
So there you saw a good example of how good PW is on pass defense, as that pass was broken up and Wissahickon was unable to come up with a first down. Now it's 3rd down and 6. This will be an interesting call here. 2 backs in the backfield. Curtis is back to throw. He's under attack, but he gets away, and Curtis will run with the ball. Believe me, he'll run with it. And he stretches for the first down, but is unable to come up with it.
Tackled by number 77.
77 for Plymouth Whitemarsh on the tackle.
Curtis showing his speed.
Greg Durago.
Curtis showing his speed, gets away from the defenders and picks up some good yardage after what could have been a big loss.
Sean Mitchell comes in for Plymouth Whitemarsh, while number 9, Carl Haley, takes a break. Carl Haley's having a great game. A 9-yard touchdown run and 3 2-point conversions.
Yes, and Carl Haley not only doing it on the offensive side, he's also doing it on the defensive side.
And there's the punt. It drops at about the 25, and it takes a big Wissahickon roll.
Wissahickon down the ball on the 16-yard line.
It's down on the 16-yard line, so Plymouth Whitemarsh will take over. 1st down and 10 with 7 seconds left in the 3rd quarter. Plymouth Whitemarsh has this game in the record books pretty much with a 36-7 lead. With still a quarter to play.
The defensive line, again, getting in on the punter, giving the punter a lot of pressure. The punt was almost blocked.
Most likely we will see the JV get some action in the 4th quarter.
The statistics guy, ask him to go count up how many yards Sean Smith got.
So the 3rd quarter here at Colonial Field has come to an end. It's Plymouth Whitemarsh 36, Wissahickon 7. So Plymouth Whitemarsh in the 3rd quarter put some more points on the board. The 26-yard touchdown pass from Borshevitz to Mitchell. And then Carl Haley with a 2-point conversion, and then a big 4-yard touchdown run by J.J. Clark. Carl Haley with another 2-point conversion, making the score 36-7 in favor of Plymouth Whitemarsh.
And look for the Colonials to just run the ball. They want to run the clock out as quickly as they can, and they don't want to have to, the defense doesn't want to have to come back into the game.
Josh and I would like to remind you that at the conclusion of this game, we will be selecting a very fine fruit juice player of the game, and it will be a very difficult choice tonight.
Yes, there are some players that are really contributing tonight, including Carl Haley, who's got a touchdown and 3 2-point conversions. Jason Borshevitz has been pretty impressive tonight, and along with J.J. Clark and Sean C. Smith.
On 1st down there, you saw J.J. Clark, number 33, on the carry. The tackle was made by number 24, Carl Dean, along with Matt Davey, number 34 for the Trojans.
And also getting back to the player of the games, also on defense. The defense has been doing a great job tonight, giving up only that 1 touchdown in the 1st quarter. And the rest of the way, they've been perfect.
Plymouth Whitemarsh with a 36-7 lead, and they again have the ball. Haley goes in motion, but Borshevitz hands it off to number 45, Howard Lasky. So Lasky, number 45, the really tough, muscular, strong, quick fullback.
And a big surprise.
Picks up some yardage.
That's only Howard Lasky's 1st carry of the game. I would think the Colonials would go to him more often in this game.
That's a 6-yard gain for Plymouth Whitemarsh. 2nd down and 3 now on the 34. PW is driving once again. Borshevitz with a couple fakes. He hands it off to Howard Polonius Lasky once again. And Howard Lasky has his fan club here in the stadium at Colonial Field.
Yes, his family gets here early, and they get good seats for the game, and they're always they're at every game cheering for their son and also the rest of the players on the team.
They're always supporting and cheering on Howard Lasky. 10:50 remains in the game. It's Plymouth White Marsh 36, Wissahickon 7. Wissahickon most likely will drop to 2-7 overall and 0-3 in the Freedom Division.
And the Colonials again have won their 7th straight game. They're gonna win their 7th straight game and virtually locked up the Liberty Division title with right now a 4-0 record and about to be 5-0.
On 2nd down and 13, Borshevitz hands it off. But apparently there may be a fumble.
Recovered by number 64 for the Colonials.
Number 64, Leap, recovers it. Greg Leap recovers it for Plymouth White Marsh.
Good heads-up play there by Greg Leap, getting pouncing on the ball so the Colonials keep the ball.
For if Wissahickon had recovered the fumble, they would have been in fabulous field position, close to the 30-yard line, and they could have put some points on the board. But instead, it's 3rd down and 9 on the 28. Borshevitz hands it off. That was Howard Lasky, and he picks up the 1st down for Plymouth White Marsh with about a 12-yard run.
So Howard Lasky picking up some big yardage in the 2nd half here. That's only his 3rd carry, but he's getting an average of 4 yards per carry about.
Number 86, Ron Earl, has come into the game for Plymouth White Marsh. 1st down and 10 on the 41. PW driving once again. The handoff goes to number 45, Howard Polonius Lasky. And Lasky picks up some more yardage for Plymouth White Marsh.
And the Colonials really working on the clock in the 4th quarter, running the ball very effectively. And the defense of the Wissahickon Trojans have been on the field for a long time in this game.
Certainly the big strength of Plymouth White Marsh is their running game. They got Howard Lasky, J.J. Clark, Carl Haley, Sean C. Smith. And here on this carry is number 33, J.J. Clark, who escapes from a tackler and gets some more yardage. Just gets away from the tackler, and J.J. Clark gets a 1st down for Plymouth White Marsh.
And as you said there, Steve, J.J. Clark, with great talent, gets away from the tackler and picks up another 6 or 7 yards.
That was a 13-yard pickup there.
1st and 10 for the Colonials on the Trojans 43.
And Plymouth White Marsh on the 43-yard line of Wissahickon. It's 1st down and 10. Jason Borshevitz in at quarterback doing a fabulous job. It goes to number 45, Howard Lasky. Lasky goes in for a touchdown. 43 yards out. Howard Lasky with a big touchdown run.
And Howard Lasky showing great speed there. The Wissahickon Trojans were right next to him, but he bolts away from him and into the end zone easily.
And the crowd at Colonial Field is going wild, especially the Lasky fan club, on that big 43-yard touchdown run by Howard Lasky, putting PW ahead 42-7. A big block there was put forth by number 86, Ron Earl, which set up the run.
As you said, Ron Earl, a JV player, Coach Iacovetti is getting all the JV players into the game in this blowout.
Howard Lasky is a very big built running back, and he has a great deal of speed also. He's very quick in the 100 meters. 42-7, Plymouth White Marsh is leading this contest, blowing the Trojans away. And apparently someone will kick the extra point, although we are not certain who this will be. This will be Jeff Emmel. And Jeff is number 56. Plymouth White Marsh is really mixing it up tonight. great running backs. Of course, Mitchell with a great pass reception. And the extra point by Jeff Emmel is no good. So Jeff Emmel there with a good effort, but was unable to come up with the extra point for Plymouth Whitemarsh, but PW is still up 42-7. Plymouth Whitemarsh 42-7, 8:28 remains in the game.
And as you've seen, Jeff Emmel getting in there some playing time as the kicker. Joel O'Donnell is on the bench with a knee injury, and Jeff Emmel might have to play the rest of the season at kick.
In fact, we saw Joel O'Donnell come into the second half of action tonight on crutches. So we certainly hope O'Donnell will recover in time for the future games.
Jeff Emmel will kick to Andrews and Lowe.
Back to receive is Andrews and Joey Lowe for the Wissahickon Trojans. The kickoff by Jeff Emmel. It's a low line drive kick. It's taken close to the 30-yard line by Watson. And Watson takes it all the way up to about midfield. Close to the 45-yard line.
So Watson has been one of the key players for the Wissahickon Trojans. One of the very few impressive players for that team, as the Colonials have shut them all down.
There you see a look at the PW sideline. They have done a great job tonight. And after that Wissahickon touchdown in the first quarter, PW has really buckled down and played great defense and scored many touchdowns, 42-7. And on this play, Wissahickon led by quarterback Ron Curtis.
And Ron Curtis, after he handed off that ball, looked as if he was showing a little frustration there. He started off the game very well with a nice pass, nice passing game, and an early touchdown. And after he handed the ball off, he just walked away in frustration.
Just under 8 minutes to play at Colonial Field, 42-7, PW with a very comfortable lead. Second down and 3 on the 48. Wissahickon led by Curtis. Hands it off. That was Lowe once again on the carry. We've seen a lot of Lowe tonight. The tackle was made by number 63, Joe Kent. And Mark, and number 52, that's Sam Swakowski. So a great job by the PW defense. First down and 10 for Wissahickon. Curtis, quick drop, fires incomplete. That was intended for number 5, Sean Clifford, was incomplete. There was a flag down on the play, however.
It looked as if the Wissahickon wide receiver heard footsteps on that play. He was wide open there, and he could not hang on to the ball. He heard footsteps of the Colonials' Sonny Jones coming from behind him.
Curtis did throw a very high pass, and the wide receiver, number 5, Sean Clifford, was unable to come up with it. The Wissahickon Trojans are coached by Mike Herbert, who's in his 8th year. 27-49-2 is his record. And he is trying to rebuild this Wissahickon club, which has been struggling. The handoff on this first down play goes to number 30, that's 22.
Tackled by Sonny Jones and Sam Swakowski.
Ryan Rotelli.
First and 10 for the Colonials.
This will bring up first down and 10, so a big run there by the Trojans on that play. They got some key blocks, and that set up the big run.
And that was one of the few good runs tonight by one of the Wissahickon running backs. Colonials have really shut them all down tonight, including Joey Lowe.
This will bring up first down and goal for Wissahickon as they are threatening to score again, and there may have been a fumble. PW recovers the football.
And junior Brian Rickey comes up big with a fumble there, stopping the Wissahickon drive.
Wissahickon, I thought, may put some more points on the board, but they were unsuccessful because the fumble caused the Plymouth Whitemarsh Colonials to come up with a ball and a very good situation on the 6-yard line. And it's first down and 10 on the 6.
And Brian Rickey comes in there after recovering a fumble.
Plymouth Whitemarsh is the quarterback. He hands off to number 34, Matt the Bulldog Matheson on the carry for Plymouth Whitemarsh.
Matt Matheson, a sophomore sensation on the JV team, and he's picked up great yardage.
He gets about 14 yards.
Microphone never works when you want it to.
First and 10, Colonials.
This will bring up first down and 10 for Plymouth Whitemarsh on the 23-yard line. And the JV squad is in and doing a great job. This is Mark Washington on the carry.
Mark Washington on the carry.
Washington gets some yardage for Plymouth Whitemarsh up to the 30-yard line. A 7-yard pickup by Washington, the sophomore.
And in last week's blowout of Upper Dublin, Mark Washington had 2 carries for 59 yards and a touchdown. So that sophomore sensation playing great in the varsity games and as well great in the JV games.
Second down and short. Plymouth Whitemarsh, led by the JV squad, is going to have to come up with a first down here. And the handoff goes to number 20, Mark Washington. Washington was going all the way downfield, but was finally stopped. A big run there by Mark Washington.
And in past games, Mark Washington has broken loose in the 4th quarter, scored touchdowns on big runs.
Nearly a 30-yard run there by the sophomore, Mark Washington, number 20. And he has been an outstanding force to be reckoned with for Plymouth Whitemarsh. He has gotten a lot of JV action and even some varsity action as a sophomore. He's done a great job, and he's one of the future running backs for Plymouth Whitemarsh. First down and 10 on the 48. Matt Matheson goes in motion. And that was Matheson on the carry. Fields was in motion. The tackle was made by number 60, Bruce Gambill, for the Trojans.
With many of the Colonials running back going off to college next year, Mark Washington and Matt Matheson should be getting the starts next year at running back.
Certainly the seniors are Sean C. Smith, J.J. Clark, Carl Haley, and Howard Lasky for Plymouth Whitemarsh. So these great running backs, which also include junior Darius Walker, will be coming up next year to start. And Washington's on the carry again, and a flag goes down. Mark Washington is still on his feet, and he's finally taken down. Washington's a guy with outstanding speed. He's 5'8". He's about 155, and Washington has a great deal of speed. And look out for him this season in spring track because he is an outstanding sprinter. In fact, in the 100 meters, he can do the 100 meters in 10.9 seconds, which is about 0.9 of a second less than Carl Lewis, who holds the world record. This will bring up second down and 7 for Plymouth Whitemarsh.
And as you saw, Mark Washington was hit once, but he carried a few Wissahickon players on his back and picked up some more yardage, but because of the penalty, it all gets wiped out.
Second down and 18 after the penalty on Plymouth Whitemarsh on the 41-yard line. Number 23 goes in motion. Brian Rickey hands it off to sophomore Mark Washington, and he turns the corner, and Washington is going. Mark Washington takes the football all the way down to the 25-yard line. Mark Washington with a big run right there for Plymouth Whitemarsh.
Mark Washington showing great speed, gets away from the Wissahickon defenders, breaks out to the outside, and picks up 30 yards on that carry.
Mark Washington in last week's 32-0 blowout of Upper Dublin had a big 49-yard touchdown run. I'll tell you, with a great deal of speed and talent that Washington possesses, he's very tough to stop. First down and 10 on the 27-yard line. They have two wide receivers to the far side. In motion comes Washington, but Brian Rickey hands it off to number 34, Matt Matheson.
Gamble.
Number 60, Bruce Gamble, on the tackle for the Trojans.
And Mark
Plymouth
Washington,
Whitemarsh.
after only 4 carries, is approaching the 100-yard mark already.
Plymouth Whitemarsh on the 26-yard line, 2nd down and 9. Number 27, Nate Harrell to the near side. Brian Rickey, the junior quarterback, hands it off to Mark Washington again. And Washington is stopped after about a 3-yard gain. Number 42, Joe Elmo. And number 52, Brian Edgar, contribute to the tackle for Plymouth Whitemarsh on Plymouth Whitemarsh make that for the Trojans. 42-7 is the score. 2:38 remains in the game. The JV for Plymouth Whitemarsh is into the game and doing a fabulous job. Junior quarterback Brian Rickey is calling the signals. Brian Rickey hands it off up the middle.
Tackle by Campbell on Matheson.
And as you saw in the previous play, it took virtually the whole defensive line to get Mark Washington down. So Mark Washington is showing great strength.
Darius Walker, number 44, the junior running back, comes into the game for Plymouth Whitemarsh. And number 20, Mark Washington, takes a break after a fabulous performance here in the 4th quarter.
And Darius says on the JV team has gone over the 100-yard mark in numerous games.
4th down and 3 on the 20. Plymouth Whitemarsh will go for it here on 4th down. They put Nate Harrell to the far side as wide receiver. Plymouth Whitemarsh hoping to convert and get the 1st down. The handoff goes to Darius Walker. And Walker gets the 1st down for Plymouth Whitemarsh.
So Darius Walker also with great speed. All the running backs of the Colonials have great speed, and Darius Walker picks up another 7 yards.
1:33 remaining in the game.
So this will bring up 1st down and 10 on the 20-yard line for Plymouth Whitemarsh, as the JV team is putting together a very impressive drive here in the 4th quarter, and hopefully they can put some points on the board. It's already 42-7. Nate Harrell to the far side once again. Fields goes in motion. The handoff goes to Mark Fields, number 23. Number 62, Henry Foley. And number 44, Ian Porter on the tackle for the Trojans.
2nd down.
And I'm surprised Coach Iacovetti has not let Brian Rickey air it out here. He maybe wanted to give him some practice, but he's been going with the run.
Under a minute to play here at Colonial Field. The JV is going to have to hurry up if they want to put some points on the board. 2nd down and 10 on the 12. Brian Rickey in the quarterback. Hands it off once again to another outstanding running back. And they just can't seem to get him down. That was Matt, the Bulldog Matheson.
And again, great strength from Matt Matheson. Takes the defensive line. He pushed them all back. And it took the whole defensive line to tackle him.
Well, that's why they call him a Bulldog. He's very tough and fierce, and believe me, he's tough to stop when he's on the run. 2nd down and 4, 16 seconds remaining on the 4-yard line. Plymouth Whitemarsh hoping to put some points on the board here. And the handoff goes to Darius Walker, number 44. 4, 3, 2, 1, and the game has come to a close here at Colonial Field. The Plymouth Whitemarsh Colonials have played a great game, a superb offensive performance, and the defense after the 1st quarter played outstanding as well. A 42-7 victory.
And we'll see you next week.
What's next week's game? You know what next week is?
Next week, the Plymouth Whitemarsh Colonials will be at Souderton.
Next week, away at Souderton.
We will be home once again. Plymouth Whitemarsh will be home once again for homecoming.
Next week, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry about that.
And again, we have to pick our very fine fruit juice player of the game. And again, a very difficult choice. And I'm going to have to go with the sensational running back, Carl Haley. Had a touchdown and 3 two-point conversions tonight.
Carl Haley certainly had a very impressive game tonight. The senior has really played well thus far this season, and in last week's game against Upper Dublin, he had 25 yards on 4 carries, but tonight he had one of the best games thus far this season. As Carl Haley had a 9-yard touchdown run in the first quarter, giving PW a 6-0 lead, and that was in the second quarter, his 9-yard touchdown run. He also added a big 2-point conversion, putting PW ahead 14-7. And then in the third quarter, Carl Haley came to work again with another 2-point conversion. And after the J.J. Clark 4-yard touchdown run, Carl Haley came to work again, another 2-point conversion. So Carl Haley did a fabulous job offensively for the Plymouth Whitemarsh Colonials, and thus he has received the honor of the Very Fine Fruit Juice Player of the Game. Josh, how would you evaluate Plymouth Whitemarsh's performance in the game tonight?
Plymouth Whitemarsh again showing their talent, a championship team. The running backs they've gone over 300 yards in this game, and Sean C. Smith, J.J. Clark, and again Carl Haley, all with great games.
Just briefly recapping the scoring in the game, of course, the final score is 42-7. A 9-yard touchdown run by Sean Cameron Smith in the first half, 6-0 in favor of PW. Then Wissahickon came to life in the first quarter and scored their only points of the game. An 18-yard touchdown run by Joey Lowe. And the extra point was good, 7-6. Wissahickon had their only lead of the game at the end of the first quarter. Then in the second quarter, PW came to life. They got serious and very aggressive. A 9-yard touchdown run by Carl Haley. A 2-point conversion then by Carl Haley, putting PW ahead 14-7. Jason Borshevitz then with a big pass. 5-yard touchdown pass to Wayne Masters with his first touchdown reception of the season, putting PW ahead 20-7 at the half. Again in the third quarter, Borshevitz to Mitchell on a 26-yard pass pattern, giving PW a 28-7 lead, and Carl Haley again a 2-point conversion, our Very Fine Fruit Juice Player of the Game. A 4-yard touchdown run also in the third quarter by J.J. Clark. Carl Haley another 2-point conversion, 36-7, and then finally you saw in the fourth quarter a 43-yard touchdown run by Howard Lasky, 42-7, and also the JV players on offense played extremely well. So Plymouth Whitemarsh played, in summary, a very strong game and came away with this one 42-7. I'd just like to mention that Sean Cameron Smith, who had 700 yards coming into the game, had 144 yards tonight. And Sean C. Smith is close to 900 yards on the season, so the senior is doing a great job. Congratulations to the Plymouth Whitemarsh Colonials. They move on to Truman next week. That will be away. Their record is now 7-2, 7 consecutive wins, and they are 5-0 in the Suburban 1 Liberty Division. The final score once again from Colonial Field is Plymouth Whitemarsh 42, Wissahickon 7. Along with Josh Weissman, who did a great job with color commentary, Bill English, I'd also like to thank for keeping some fine stats tonight. This is Stephen Principali coming to you from Colonial Field, signing off for the night. The final score, Plymouth Whitemarsh 42, Wissahickon 7.